Is my flight on time? A practical phrase used to check whether a flight is on schedule. Is my flight on time? While a camera wore a detective hat and questioned a postcard, I asked, is my flight on time? Which gate does my flight leave from? A practical phrase used to ask for a flight's departure gate. Which gate does my flight leave from? While a ticket machine bakes star-shaped cookies, I asked, which gate does my flight leave from? Has the gate changed? A practical phrase used to check for a departure gate change. Has the gate changed? While a backpack held a serious meeting with 5 socks, I asked, has the gate changed? How long is the delay? A practical phrase used to ask how long a flight delay will last. How long is the delay? While a compass spun happily beneath a tiny disco ball, I asked, how long is the delay? Will I miss my connection? A practical phrase used to ask whether a delay threatens a connection. Will I miss my connection? While a postcard put on a stamp and mailed itself, I asked, will I miss my connection? Can you rebook me on the next flight? A practical phrase used to request rebooking onto the next flight. Can you rebook me on the next flight? While a hotel key took a nap inside a teacup, I asked, can you rebook me on the next flight? Where is the transfer desk? A practical phrase used to locate the airport transfer desk. Where is the transfer desk? While a train offered afternoon tea to the moon, I asked, where is the transfer desk? Do I need to collect my luggage? A practical phrase used to check whether bags must be collected during a transfer. Do I need to collect my luggage? While a phone translated a duck's speech into opera, I asked, do I need to collect my luggage? Is my luggage checked through? A practical phrase used to confirm that luggage goes to the final destination. Is my luggage checked through? While a vending machine applauded every passing traveler, I asked, is my luggage checked through? Do I need to go through security again? A practical phrase used to check whether another security screening is required. Do I need to go through security again? While a luggage trolley wore a bright superhero cape, I asked, do I need to go through security again? How much time do I need between flights? A practical phrase used to ask for a safe flight connection time. How much time do I need between flights? While a road map folded itself into a graceful swan, I asked, how much time do I need between flights? Where can I find the departure board? A practical phrase used to locate an airport departure board. Where can I find the departure board? While a sandwich presented its passport at a miniature border, I asked, where can I find the departure board? Has boarding started? A practical phrase used to check whether passengers are boarding. Has boarding started? While a raincoat delivered the weather forecast with a pointer, I asked, has boarding started? Why was the flight cancelled? A practical phrase used to ask for the reason a flight was cancelled. Why was the flight cancelled? While a park bench reserved one seat for a polite squirrel, I asked, why was the flight cancelled? Can I get a meal voucher? A practical phrase used to request a meal voucher during a disruption. Can I get a meal voucher? While an elevator stepped outside to ask for directions, I asked, "Can I get a meal voucher?" Is accommodation provided? A practical phrase used to ask whether an airline provides a hotel. Is accommodation provided? While a souvenir magnet planned a world tour on the refrigerator, I asked, "Is accommodation provided?" What happens to my checked bag? A practical phrase used to ask about luggage after a cancelled or changed flight. What happens to my checked bag? While a suitcase conducted a choir of folded maps, I asked, "What happens to my checked bag?" Can I use the lounge during the delay? A practical phrase used to ask to use an airport lounge while waiting. Can I use the lounge during the delay? While a passport practiced ballet with 3 rubber stamps, I asked, "Can I use the lounge during the delay?" Could you notify me of any changes? A practical phrase used to request updates about a flight. Could you notify me of any changes? While a tiny clock chased a bus wearing roller skates, I asked, "Could you notify me of any changes?" When is the new departure time? A practical phrase used to ask for a revised departure time. When is the new departure time? While an umbrella interviewed a cloud about tomorrow, I asked, "When is the new departure time?"